From Las Vegas, this is Formula One. It is a huge event worthy of the prize on offer. This City of Lights has been a storied sporting stage for decades, and it is poised for a new landmark moment. Max Verstappen is a race away from calling himself the world champion for the fourth time. 42 years since it was last claimed here. The F1 title is on the line. If Max beats Lando tonight, he's champion of the world. Here are the lights. We're underway in Las Vegas and racing to turn number one with George Russell holding the lead. The battle is between Gasly and Sainz, and they open the door for Charles Leclerc to go from fourth, potentially to second. There's no grip off line. Ferrari versus Ferrari, and around the outside to take P2 goes the man fourth on the grid. Charles Leclerc roars up to second. George Russell holds the lead. Down goes Sainz, down goes Gasly. Verstappen is still ahead of Lando Norris having left the line, but it's Russell P1.
It was very close behind as well with Norris. There's Yuki Tsunoda in there with Oscar Piastri as well. But crucial for Ferrari, they've got ahead of Gasly, and that might allow a bit of a buffer back to the main contenders behind. Verstappen stuck behind Gasly for now.
Incredibly close, as you referenced there, Julian, that it looked like Max was almost in contact at that first corner. Tentative driving from all, just highlighting how low the grip is as these cars are now fat with fuel.
It is worth bearing in mind this is the heaviest they'll be. Look at how high speed, look at how close it is between RB and Haas. That's Magnussen up against Liam Lawson, car number 30 getting ahead, nothing between them.
Yeah, two of the toughest racers on the grid going wheel to wheel through 10, 11 and 12. It's scary stuff around here. Replay at the start, couldn't see immediately what happened to Piastri, but it's a good start from Russell, who's well clear into the first corner. Gasly's then on the outside, and he just cannot commit with Sainz there on his inside, which allows Charles Leclerc, and you can see them all twitching on the rear axle, trying to get the power down through the exit of turn one, and Leclerc sneaking through beautifully on the inside in a complete reverse of what happened last season for him, gaining places. This is going to be the nice shot on board with him, going from fourth to second.
Yeah, clean getaway, very short run. And he's just observing at this point, isn't he? As his teammate runs a little bit wide, he's on that tight line, gets the car straightened up as best he can. That is such a good feeling, isn't it, when you manage to convert a good start. Max Verstappen wasn't a bad start, but we're going to see him be oh so close. Look how close he is. And then almost got touched from the rear by the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda.
Tsunoda was busy fighting with Norris, and they were ticking their own break points for that first corner.
This is a look at Lawson and Magnussen beginning their lap one battle at turn one.
Yeah, what a great camera angle. You can see just how close everyone bunches up as they run into that first corner.
And this is Magnussen continuing his battle. Lawson on the left-hand side.
Lawson moving in a straight line when I was slipstreaming. You know, he was reacting.
I think it's incredible that those guys managed to get away with that. They were brushing sidewalls. Charles Leclerc goes for the move.
Oh, there was always going to be an opportunity for multiple overtakes there. Russell defends P1, but Gasly could not defend P4. It's game on at the front of the field. We roar through the 17th and final corner of the racetrack. Look at this scene between Mercedes and Ferrari, separated by hardly anything. There's no grip around the outside, surely. And George Russell stays ahead, but he's under massive pressure from the Scarlet Ferrari.
How he didn't lose his end plate there, that is unbelievable.
It's brilliant racing from the two of them. Russell positioning his car where he needed to. He's going to be under this pressure lap after lap because the Ferrari is good in the straights. And look, Carlos Sainz is joining in as well. So if Russell's too slow off these corners, he's going to have two Ferraris right with him.
Lewis Hamilton fighting his way past the McLaren, or at least trying to. Terrific pictures at enormous speed. The Australian driver on the left-hand side, the seven-time world champion on the brakes, trying to come back. Piastri trying to go deep, and he does still claim the place. As out front, Carlos Sainz has fought his way up to second position. Charles Leclerc has gone from contending for the lead of this Grand Prix to losing second position, and the man from the front row who lost second at the start has reclaimed it on lap number 8 as Piastri and Hamilton continue to battle.
Leclerc's really struggling, having had those couple of laps early on where he was looking very fast. He's now a second and a half behind his teammate. I wonder if he's taken too much out of the tyres and grained them in those early laps, and now he's paying a price. The Mercedes is looking quick, and look, here is Leclerc now struggling with Verstappen on his tail.
Wow, it's a case of keeping the tyres in the window. If you fall out, you chew through them quickly. And having looked like he was going to take the lead of the Grand Prix a couple of laps ago, Charles Leclerc is now going to tumble off the podium. Through goes the championship leader, Max Verstappen, up to third. One Ferrari moves up to second, one drops down to fourth. It's Mercedes ahead of Ferrari, ahead of Red Bull. Now the podium contenders, still four in the battle for the win.
And he can't even stay with Verstappen through the low-speed corners either.
Norris gets past Gasly. He has moved up to fifth position. It's Russell, then Sainz, then Verstappen, Leclerc, and then wait for the papaya McLaren. He's got a pink Alpine for company still, but Norris has made a move. He's climbed the order, and now he's up to fifth place.
The Tsunoda so far is driving okay, but he's having to look in the mirrors, which is compromising his exits. There they go, out of turn 12, onto the long straight. This is a DRS train, but Hamilton is going to have a whopping slipstream.
Well, we had a slightly mixed up grid because of qualifying in very low conditions. It's still only 17 degrees track temperature out there, and Hamilton's making use of these conditions. Charles Leclerc has been called in to the pits. Lewis Hamilton is gaining another place, 10th on the grid to 7th in the Grand Prix at the moment.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sainz hits the pits. Yep, there's the call, and this is early in this Grand Prix.
He can't turn the car, can he? This is such a pleasure to ride on board with Verstappen. And when you're sitting in that cockpit, he's going to blast past Sainz here. This is going to be a slam dunk move when he opens the DRS. And Sainz just has to wait in all the apexes to actually rotate the car.
Interesting comparison between the straight line speed of the Ferrari without DRS. Took a while for Verstappen to get by. Sainz will be pitting. He's got no tyres left. Lewis Hamilton has claimed fourth position. Piastri's been called in as well. Verstappen goes through to second place in the Grand Prix. Better tyre life on the Red Bull as he tries to win the race and his fourth World Championship today. But there's 8 seconds between Verstappen and George Russell as the second Ferrari pits in the Grand Prix.
Low power. Engine issue.
Everything's looking okay for us. We hit the limiter.
Wait, I have no power!
Oh, there you go. Pierre Gasly wasn't joking. It's an expiring power unit in the back of his Alpine, and after being one of the stars of the qualifying hour, the man who started third on the grid comes into the pits to retire. And that's the moment the glorious qualifying effort would go unrewarded for Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, you can see the damage there when it's eaten away around the exhaust. So, yeah, sounded more like a tractor than a Formula One car.
Carlos Sainz sweeping past Sergio Perez up to third place. Perez yet to stop.
This is more important though. This is a straight fight. That's Lewis Hamilton late on the brakes. That's Lewis Hamilton past Lando Norris, and that is for sixth position. There are plenty of moves going on further back, including Yuki Tsunoda clearing the house, but the most important one that you've seen of the entire lap is Lewis Hamilton getting past Lando Norris, because Hamilton has the ability now, surely, to clear the Ferraris and the World Championship leader. The Mercedes is the form car to have today.
Alex got a terminal problem here. We need to retire the car.
We were on board with Oscar Piastri, who's being chased down by Hülkenberg, as we got the news that we're going to get a second retirement. Alex Albon running in P10, being told that his Grand Prix is done. We are reaching our point for the leaders to make their second stop, and Sainz is being told to swap positions. That's one thing to issue the instruction, might be another thing to let both cars by. How does he do this? Through goes Leclerc. That was well driven from Carlos Sainz. What a tough position he was put in. Charles Leclerc goes through. Sainz hangs on to fourth, but only surely for a few metres. Does he peel into the pits? He does, ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Synchronised swimming. He's gone deep. He's gone on, and he's cut the line as he does so. What bizarre scenes for the Scarlet Ferrari. Verstappen is in. We expected Sainz in as well. But Hamilton comes in for a crucial pit stop as Sainz couldn't find his way in. Very, very confusing moment. I want to see that Sainz moment again, because that was a strange one. On board with Lewis Hamilton, and Sainz just carries straight on.
I wonder if he was just carrying speed with Hamilton right behind him and distracted himself and thought he was going to cross the line. Now he pits, and that's going to cost Sainz a lot.
What happened? We're not ready. Wake up, guys, come on!
Okay, there we have our answer.
They were busy trying to swap the drivers, weren't they? So they were trying to orchestrate team orders rather than get the crew out to stop, to actually box him.
This is Esteban Ocon finding his way into the pits. He's the sole remaining Alpine, and he found himself trundling through the pit lane. So there's been a couple of moments of confusion out there.
The team weren't out for Ocon, so they've called him in. There was no mechanics out for him. So he goes, he just sees that, he doesn't want to park in an empty bay, carries on. And we jump on board a Mercedes that is going to have a nice run on what is not as quick a car as a Ferrari in the straight.
Charles Leclerc has been called to the pits from second place, so this is now the battle for P2. Lewis Hamilton's got the speed. Look at the speed he has got, 216 miles per hour, and he moves up to third. That will become second, and it will shake out to be a Mercedes 1-2. No contest between the two greats, Verstappen and Hamilton, as Hamilton gets by, having started 10th on the grid. He's gone past everyone, past his teammate, and Charles Leclerc comes into the pits. New fastest lap of the race for Lewis Hamilton, who will be ruining those two errors in Q3, because it's a 32-second gap to George Russell, and realistically, if things had gone to plan, they would have started 8 meters apart. Now, one Ferrari with cold tyres, one Ferrari with fired up tyres, one Ferrari with a fired up driver, and Sainz will get the inside line and 4th position as he goes past Charles Leclerc. These two have been passing and repassing all day.
Max, just don't lose sight of our aim today here.
Yeah, I'm through my race.
Such a tough pill to swallow for Alpine, who did so much work in Brazil to get themselves into championship contention further up. Tsunoda's driving well, Hulkenberg's driving well, looking like they can take some points, and it's fallen apart for Alpine so far today.
Oh, Perez trying to go past two of them in one corner and doing so! It's been a terrible season for that man. Those are his words, but he absolutely roared by there. 2 for the price of 1 to get past Lawson and Magnussen with one of the moves of the Grand Prix so far. That was brave stuff on the brakes from Sergio Perez.
As we go on board with Perez here in the slipstream, brave on the brakes, and he probably didn't expect both places to be up for opportunity, and then manages somehow to find his way through without contact.
That is amazing that they were all able to fit through there. So this is right in the balance as we go down the long blast to turn 14. DRS open for the rapid Ferraris. Can Verstappen do anything about it? We know he's going to fight it, but can he fight it? Here we go on the brakes for Carlos Sainz to get by, and Verstappen could not defend when it came to the braking. One Ferrari goes through. They are chasing their first Constructors' Championship since 2008 as Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. The gap down to 5.7 seconds as Charles Leclerc tries to get by Max Verstappen.
Oh, you're not going around the outside of Max anywhere, let alone turn 1.
Next car to lap for George Russell is Liam Lawson, then Lance Stroll. Then you get to a battle to the inside, and claiming the position is Charles Leclerc. The defence for the man who will win the title in a few laps' time is over for the Ferraris. Both Sainz and Leclerc go through to maximise the damage for McLaren. One championship resolved today, one seemingly going all the way to the end. Verstappen drops down to 5th. On the day he will claim his 4th World Championship.
That was a nice move from Leclerc. Scenes of 2023 all over again as he lunges to the inside of a Red Bull.
Here comes George Russell on his most dominant drive in Formula One. Out of the penultimate corner, he's left the entire field behind. He'll convert his pole position to victory. The British driver will look up and see the checkered flag first. He punches the air as George Russell wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The 3rd time in Formula One he's taken the checkered flag. It's 2nd place for Lewis Hamilton. Carlos Sainz will complete the podium, but further back, the Dutch driver will retain his crown. Max Verstappen is a 4-time Formula One world champion. Max Verstappen is the champion of 2024, and after a mid-season spent in limitation, he was burdened until the brilliance of Brazil. He now has the title in his grasp once again in 2024. Max Verstappen would not be moved. 5th place, enough to seal title victory in Vegas. And what a list he has joined. Fangio, Prost, Schumacher, Vettel, Hamilton, and now joining the Four-Timers Club, Max Verstappen, the champion driver of the world.
That is 4 in a row, Max. 4 in a row, congratulations.
Max Verstappen, you are a 4-time world champion. That is a phenomenal achievement. You can be incredibly proud of yourself as we are. Amazing, well done.
Oh my God, man, what a season. 4 times. Thank you guys, thank you to everyone. I mean, it was a little bit more difficult than last year, but we pulled through and we gave it all. Thank you so much, guys.
Vegas, baby! Vegas!
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Viva! Oh, boys, again! Whoa! Come on!
Well done, mate. Superb drive today. Faultless.
His largest ever winning margin in Formula One, whether it be sprint or Grand Prix. He's leaping on the car in Las Vegas. A Grand Prix winner for the 3rd time. He remembers the classic pose. The day that Verstappen soars to 4 is Las Vegas under the lights.
Yeah, we pulled over the line. I mean, incredibly proud of everyone, what they have done for me, and to stand here as a 4-time world champion is of course something that I never thought was possible. So yeah, at the moment just feeling relieved in a way, but also very proud.
I was planning on flying in a couple of hours, but I'm definitely not getting on that flight, and I'm going to enjoy this evening with all my team. It's been a dream of a weekend. I don't know how we've been so quick, but I'm just riding this wave right now.
The fireworks go off in Vegas. Max Verstappen takes a 4th World Championship. George Russell takes a 3rd Grand Prix victory. And Vegas, once again, proves an overtaking fest